Hello everybody. Today I want to talk a little bit about sighing as a method, as a support method, as a singing method. And certain singers who are very famous for sighing, mainly Tito Schipa, Claudio Muzio were probably the most famous. Claudio Volpi wrote his famous book, and he described Muzio's singing as that magnificent sighing and tears in her voice. The sigh method has been very, very successful for those who use it. Caruso used it for part of his life. He talks about breathing way down behind him in his lower back and then doing a contrary motion. Well, the contrary motion, the undoing of the inhalation, is a form of sigh method. So, by the way, it's I'm of course in the Seattle area in Washington. We've had rain, and today the light you see on my face is sunlight. Isn't that nice? So I feel like shining today a little bit myself. Anyway, I want to describe these ways of sighing, and there are ways that you can vocalize and you can get your sighing working for you. One is to identify a sigh. Oh, you have the happy sigh. Oh, the sad sigh. Oh, the nostalgic sigh. Oh, remember the good old days, as they say. In other words, there are different sighs. There's the angry sigh. There's the frustrated sigh. Oh, not again. In other words, there are all these sighs you can use to color the voice. And we don't even need to do too much, because all you have to do is think something. If you get the sigh working, you're thinking it will affect the sigh and the color of your voice. So that can get to be very automatic. You don't really have to do a heck of a lot. So the idea is to breathe very much, pull in your navel, as Lamperti described in the famous diagram in his book. You pull your navel in when you breathe, and you breathe way down your lower back. Joan Sutherland said that she breathed up her rectum, which is a lot of singers, yoga people talk about breathing down at the tip of the tailbone. So you can breathe very low in the back, and when you do, then you take that air you've accumulated, what Manuel Garcia called the superabundance of the breath, and Caruso called it the massive respiration required for great singing. And you take all of that breath and you sigh with it. Now what we're going to do, though, is we're going to direct the sigh. We're going to identify a path. We're going to drive our car down the highway, and we're steering the car to go a certain place. So when we sigh, there are three possibilities we'll learn today. One of them is the sternum. So I'm going to sigh right here. Ah. If I sing like that, I get ah. See what I'm doing? I'm sighing, I'm singing, and then I'm still sighing to show you at the end. It's still sighing. So if I go la 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 la, and I like to take a phrase sometimes and sing it in different ways and let everybody hear. This light may be too much. I see in my face. I see. It's doing everything. I don't know. Oh my gosh, look, we're so unused to sunlight out here this time of year, especially. It's December. I'm sorry, it's January. What am I saying? It's January the 14th. Let me turn it around a little bit. How's that? Well, I can't get out. I can't get out of the sun. All right. Anyway, we'll just hope that this one works. All right. See? Look at that. Can you believe it? Good grief. How about I get over here somewhere? Now, how's that? Look at that sweet face. Oh, sorry. Now, so sighing on the sternum is a certain way of singing, and you can hear what it does to the music when I do that. If I sing dramatic music, it's not a good technique for singing dramatic music, but then maybe I and maybe no one should be singing dramatic music. Maybe we should all be singing lyric music, or lyrically. Dramatic music, but lyrically. They used to say dramatic music sing lyrically and lyric music sing dramatically. They used to say they try to get some excitement in the lyric music, but the idea is that all you have to do is sigh, and then we'll see. It could be that you'll like it so much you'll say, ah, the heck with it. I don't want to be a dramatic singer anyway. Right? Too much work. So I go, and I sing there. All right, so we go. Tuombe degli avi miei, l'ultimo avanza ad una stirpe felice, te raccogliete voi. See? I can either lean hard, I can go, huh, I use a miniature cough, huh, Ombre gli avi miei, l'ultima danza, non stirbe felice. Puts a little bit more bite on the voice. Pavarotti always leaned on his navel. Ombre gli avi miei, l'ultima danza, non stirbe felice. Right? Mario Monaco leaned right here. Here we can go on and on showing all these techniques. The one we're interested today in is sighing. So if I sigh on my sternum, l'ultima danza, tu la stirpe felice, te raccogliete voi. See? So that gives us a certain sound. If I do, let's say I do a high tessitura piece. I do the cabaletta at the end of Lucia. I always like to use that example. And I sigh here, right? You can understand every word I'm saying, and you realize when I sigh, my throat is released completely, and it allows me to use a speech-sized phonation. And I can pretty much make myself understood in any language, anywhere, over any orchestra. That's the advantage of it, right? One of the big advantages of it. People love it when your diction is clear, and you don't have to do it. You're not holding any position, or you're not doing anything in your throat. You went blah. Hello, how are you today? Oh, hello, how are you today? So I'm just sighing, see? Now, let's change the location of our sigh. Let's drive the car down another path, right? So I'm going to steer my sigh now below my navel. Now let's see what that does if I do that. So I'm sighing down low now, see? If I come back up here and go, he goes, I'm going to sigh below my navel. In other words, all of these sighs have their little advantages and disadvantages. They're so easy. You can sing these huge operas like that, 4 to 5 hour operas, and you really don't get tired. It's amazing, really. The way sighing is, it doesn't require a lot of work. It requires letting go. In fact, it requires unworking, undoing. What Suzuki in all of his famous translations of Zen Buddhism, law and discussion, used to call it non-ado. So the idea is to go, So I'm going to undo. Now the question is, where do I undo? While I'm undoing, I'm going to steer the undoing into a particular place. So if I do it here, if I sigh, if I put it below my navel, I get, right? So that's two possibilities. 1, 2. Now there's a third. And the third is very interesting because Beniamino Gili and Giacomo Lauri Volpi and Carmen Melis, who taught Tibaldi, Renato Tibaldi, all studied with a man named Antonio Cotogni, who was considered like the second greatest baritone after Matteo Battistini. And Cotogni taught them what he called sliding back and down. Well, sliding back and down is a sighing method, except that you sigh in reverse. You sigh inward and backward. Like that. Instead of out or down here, I can sigh on my sternum, below my navel, but I can also sigh back and down. So if I do that, and I sigh backward, see, all I'm doing is sighing. If I sigh backwards, it's really interesting. all this minutes about passaggio and turning and vowel modification and all this kind of stuff. You know, if I sigh again, la. If I sigh my navel, I get ah, la. You notice I'm not doing anything. I'm not covering, I'm not passing, I'm not modifying. My throat is in the same shape on the upper note as the lower note. Caruso said in his book, never change the shape of your mouth when you go to a high note. So, trying to follow that rule. Now, if I sigh back and down, what happens then? See? Whoop, where am I? So I go, la, la. So if I sigh any of these three ways, I can sing all the notes. Doesn't cost any more effort than going ah. See, some vocal cords are more resistant. They're bigger and they're thicker, and the resistance of the vocal cords as the vocal cords close together, as the folds close together, and for high notes they get longer and tighter, and the closure gets tighter, so there's more resistance. So we have to equalize that resistance by an activity in the diaphragm. But remember, we're trying to hold everything in one place, and somebody presses down on it, I work harder to keep it there. Somebody lets go, I don't have to work so hard to keep it there. So I have a certain amount of energy to get it there, and then I have to resist all of these movements and changes while I'm singing, especially, and not let it move. I don't want it going like this while I'm singing. See? So if I sing there and I go, what's a good example? You know, well, the Carmen is always a good example because it's so sustained, the lyric and places. So if I sigh, ah, ah, soy maran Carmen de moi, right? Ah, soy maran Carmen de moi, ah, ah, ah. Oh, Gilu is famous for using the falsetto attachment. In other words, what they call the sobbing. It's not really sobbing. But you can go, ah, and still sigh. Ah, ah, ah. The falsetto is supposed to relax the throat, relax everything, and then you attach it to the diaphragm. Ah, ah, or below the navel. Ah, ah, ah. See? So all of these sounds are different, and the way the voice passes, now remember, we're not deliberately modifying in the throat at all. That was in my sternum. Below my navel, that's below my navel. If I do it inward, reverse sigh, I go I can do it with my mouth closed and my mouth open. It sounds terrible, it looks terrible, how I do it. But some people think that looks terrible, but this is okay. See, why would I do that? What do I need that for? A lot of people pull the jaw down. Very few people do this. Few people did it, famous English singers. They did it more in England, but I've never seen it anywhere else. I asked one of my New Zealand colleagues, why do you sing with your mouth so closed? You sing sort of with your mouth in a sort of a slit like that. Sing that way. He said, well, you know, mate, he said, if you open the barn door, the cow will get out. So the idea is if I open, and their idea, and his idea, he and several other English singers I met, they thought if you opened, the voice would go under the mask, as they say. In other words, it wouldn't resonate up high, it would drop down and come out of the mouth. And not, I mean, the voice scientists will tell you that everything vibrates in the vocal tract, in the throat, in the mouth, so forth. But singers forever have been talking about the mask, which is to get it to resonate up here. Lily Lehman said it was the whole front half of the upper part of the skull, right here. Whole front half of the skull. So who knows? You do it the way you feel it and the way it works for you, but I can only tell you that if you get this throat loose, completely loose, if I go, my throat's loose. I can sigh there. See, I can go. Now my back of my tongue is loose and my throat's loose. See? So if I sigh those, that's leaning, that's sighing right on my sternum. So I want to touch on this a little bit. Some people have asked me about, where we should support and where we should lean. And there's all kinds of methods. If you breathe way down your lower back, pull your stomach in, and then do, the ladies go, oh. Find your staccato pulse, and that's where you sing. It's also how you train countertenors. Male singers, you make them go from the falsetto to the voice. So you take a big breath. There it is. So I've got the spot. Now I can sigh there. How are you? See? Why can't I just sigh there? So I go, pull that navel in, do Caruso's contrary motion, which is a sigh at the navel or below. See? You can use all of them. I'm going to sigh back and down. I'm going to do it in reverse. So these things all work, and we simply have to try them out in our own understanding and our own body and our own voices and find out what in the world do we think that we're trying to do here, right? I just want to get up and sing and not have to work too hard and get through the evening. If you talk to professional singers who sing big operas, you realize one of the biggest concerns is to get through the darn thing. To be heard, let them hear the music and the text. You always want to sing like this is a brand new work. Nobody knows the music and nobody knows the text. It's your job to deliver the music for your voice, for your line, for your character, but also to deliver the words. So if I sigh and I'm up here like, some note, oh, today is so nice to be here. You can understand what I'm telling you now. Would you rather go out tonight or would you rather go home? I can talk like this all the time on my side. You can understand me when I'm noodling around up there. Or I can drop it from my navel down. I'm going downtown to get something to eat. I thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could have dinner once in these restaurants? We're having a long time to wait because of the COVID-19 epidemic. We can sit here and talk all day. How are you? I haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been? And all I'm doing is sighing in my abdomen the whole time. And that lets my voice, just go on pitch. And I can talk on pitch. So I can use a speech method. The trouble with speech methods, you have to be sure you have an air column under them, you have breath under them, otherwise they don't carry very well. Most Americans, it depends how you speak, but most Americans speak a little too low. They speak down here like this, hello, how are you doing? And it doesn't carry very well, see? If I say, you see that it's not in my nose, and it's in the voice that's up here in the head, and then that kind of speech carries like crazy. So then, I can use the speaking method. So I breathe. And then I can say anything I want to. Now, if I sigh below my navel, I'm going to go down and get something to eat tomorrow. I have a date with someone to meet them for lunch. Wouldn't it be nice if we just get up and just talk? Well, you have to breathe, pull in your abdomen, big time, make your diaphragm go down in the back. Not just have to go down like that. You got to make it go down in the back also. As the pulmonologist told me when I went and discussed all this with him, he said, oh, you can double your breath capacity that way. Well, somebody said, the bigger the drum, the bigger the sound, right? So I learned that when I was about 20 years old. The bigger the drum, the bigger the sound. So if you want to have a bigger voice, you need to get a bigger air bucket, bigger lungs, bigger chest, develop your rib cage so that everything opens up. And you watch people, professional singers. I have one picture of Caruso holding his arms like this, and his arms are resting on his chest. His chest all the way out here. I don't know how they do that, but that's a lifetime of breathing. Let's face it. Now, if I sigh inward and backward, what do I get? Oh, it's just a reverse sigh. Oh, no. Can I still talk and tell you that we're going to have a date tomorrow? Or not? Oh, would you like to meet me tomorrow? There's one restaurant that's serving meals and we can go there and eat in spite of the pandemic. They've got little glass cubicles and you can go and sit in one and you're protected from other people. So you can just talk all day by sighing one way or the other. The great thing about sighing is you're relaxing while you're singing. You take a breath. That's my work. Now I undo my work. Ah. And as I undo my work, my voice responds like crazy. It sits right up there. And none of that's nasal. I can pinch my nose on any of those notes and it's not nasal. Oh, why is nasal bad? Because it doesn't carry. Some people like the sound. If I sigh and I want to sing in my nose, I go, my voice is sitting in my nose, and I know from experience, I sang 64 roles myself, hundreds and hundreds of performances for 45 years, and I'm telling you, that sound doesn't carry worth a darn. If you can speak in a way or breathe in a way that causes the voice to go above here and sit up here someplace, you go, I'll see you tomorrow, and maybe we can go out, and all I'm doing is sighing in my abdomen. I don't want to sigh inward. I can hardly wait to see what they've got on the menu. I've been eating nothing but peanut butter sandwiches at home. That's the only thing I know how to prepare. You're going to have peanut butter with mayonnaise, peanut butter with apples, peanut butter with bananas. You can say any darn thing you want to say and talk about anything you want to. And all I'm doing is sighing. Backing down. See? You get this high tessitura music that we have to deal with sometimes. We have to stay up at the top, right? Always use Lucia to demonstrate that. Reverse, sigh. Oh, no problem. It's easy as pie. I'm going, and I'm just saying the words. See? But I can do it either here or here. Depends a lot on the individual singer. Which one do you like? Where do you feel it? Are you happy with it? Does it feel secure? Is it safe? Are we able to fulfill professional obligations? Or does it, the way we sing, exhaust us? God forbid it should get on your throat and make your throat feel tired. That's bad, 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 right? But you can see that it's easy as pie if I just sigh. All I have to do is sigh. Right? All I'm doing is sighing like that. And the fact that I do it makes my voice sit up there in that, see? And then I can be not only heard, but some people think that's a very big sound. I was offered Othello in Wiesbaden, in the Hessen State Theater in Wiesbaden in Germany, when I was 26. And I accepted it. And then I hurt myself in the summer playing touch football and separated my ribs, and I had to cancel it. And I was wearing a corset and the whole thing, so they gave me the light lyric role, which is Cassio. And he's got the line. And I realized you are so lucky you're not out having to sing Othello. I just see vocal cords flying through the air. You know, I don't know. That was a God-sent injury in my rib cage to save me from a fate worse than I don't know what. Because to sing Othello, you're just hammering away. And even in my age, I'm 82 now. I'll be 83 in a couple of months. And I still don't sound like Othello. I feel like Othello's stepson or something, right? I don't sound. The idea is that they hear that sound that if it's ringing, it's sitting up there and ringing, they think, oh, big voice. It's not a big voice, it's just a carrying voice, right? Those big tenors, they go, "Hi, how are you today?" And the whole room shakes, you know. So if, back to sighing, if we really want to sigh, we've got all kinds of music. If you have a, obligation to sing music, it's got a lot of coloratura in it, all you do is sigh it. Sigh below. That's an abdominal sigh. Whew. Some people call it the abdominal drop. Some people call it 18 months pregnant with triplets. They used to say things like that in the German theaters, Walk around like you're 14 months pregnant with triplets. See? But the idea, if you think about a pregnant lady who's got that belly and baby and water and everything hanging out there, they can't pull in their stomachs when they sing. They can't do all that stuff that people do down there like that. They have to let it go. And everybody knows that the more pregnant a woman gets, the better she sings. There's no doubt about it. I was in Germany all those years, and the pregnant ladies all sang the best. And the men were always trying to imitate them. And not very successfully, I might say. Anyway, so I hope I got this clear. Sighing is what it is. Oh, but you got to sigh down and in and never up and out. If I go, I can't sing. Can't do anything really. Can't even talk. So I have to go, oh. But the question is, do I sigh down and in on my sternum? Or do I sigh down and in my abdomen? I see the sun is shifting around. coming to the east and shifting around to the south now. And I'm having to sort of creep around to the north here. So anyway, you can try these and see what you think of them. Here we go. Hear that? Oh, you did I'm feeling fine. Abdominal. Oh, you did I'm feeling fine. All right. Reverse. Oh, you did I'm feeling fine. Okay, give it a try. See if you like it. If you don't like it, dump it, okay? You won't hurt my feelings. I just want well. I want everyone to do well. And whatever way you can find that makes you feel good and enjoy your singing, that's what matters, okay? Because public knows whether you're having fun or whether you're suffering. And they don't want you to suffer. They came to enjoy themselves too, okay? Okay, bye.